Welcome to the New Monks. This podcast is dedicated to those of us on the journey of evolution. Through these episodes, we will dive into the lives of individual people and discover what they have learnt and how they have handled their growth. We believe that we all have wisdom to be shared with each other and can learn from listening to each other's stories. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you feel like leaving us a review and sharing the love, that would be greatly appreciated. So this is just a heads up because, there's a lot of information that is coming to light at the moment, and through these episodes, each person is going to share a different side of that for them. Now, this isn't to say that every single thing that is shared here is going to be 100% accurate, It's just not where we are right now. It's just not the case of the unraveling and the disclosures that are being revealed to us. Obviously, things are always changing, and in one moment something can be so real and so true, and the next moment is completely shifted and changed into something else. This is the journey of evolution. This is the journey of ascension that we are going through right now. So this is just an invitation that your discernment is really, really important. As always, as usual, please take what resonates and leave the rest. Thank you. Hi, and welcome back to the New Monks podcast. In today's episode, I am speaking to Faizan, and this was such a nourishing conversation. He comes from a 500-year musical lineage of classical music from Pakistan. And we begin speaking about his journey from how he learnt to sing from such a young age and the way it works with the ragas. And going into details further on, we touch on the music industry in general and the differences between what he is trying to do with music and what a lot of the commercial music is saying. We also speak on his religion as well, Islam, which sometimes, for some reason, frowns upon listening to music. And obviously, he has such a rich cultural heritage from his family that they really stood up for that. And his dad has stood up for that, and other things, been a bit of a protester in many ways. That he told me that they got banned from one particular news outlet for a long period of time. We also ended up hosting him at Ansel to do a live Sufi Classical concert, which was also amazing and beautiful. So I hope you enjoy this episode and stay until the end. So welcome to the New Monks podcast.
Thank you very much for having me in the podcast. Name is so interesting, and as soon you told me the name, I was ready to do the podcast because this is really interesting. And New Monks, it's a new thinking, it's a new idea. So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
So normally before we begin, I'd just like to take a few deep breaths together.
You know that?
And how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling very nice. I'm fine. I'm good. And I'm always mostly feeling positivity. I don't think about the negative things most of the time. I have it in my mind. If you think positive, the things get positives for you. That's why positive should always be there, and your mind should be thinking positive all about. Even if I'm uh, delaying something, and if I'm doing something which is out of my comfort zone, but I keep thinking about positivity that it will happen. And it does happen. So I'm feeling positive.
Amazing. I'm so looking forward to hearing about your life. But I love that you started on that, and I feel like it can be quite difficult sometimes to do that. How did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in our family, as I belong to a musical family, so Gharana, Sham Churasi Gharana. My Gharana name is Sham Churasi Gharana. So Gharana is basically a household, a school of music. Gharana is meant by that. So Sham Churasi Gharana or Gharana is one of the oldest musical schools of Punjab in Pakistan and India also. There are four oldest gharana in East India, Punjab. One is Talwandi, one is Kapurthala, one is Sham Churasi, and one is Patiala. So our gharana is like 500 years old gharana. We carry this legacy of classical music. Our ancestors, Mia Chan Khan and Suraj Khan. When I do this, I touch my ears by giving them respect. That's a tradition. So I'm taking elder's name or senior's name. I want people to know about that when I touch my ears. In a tradition, that means I'm giving them respect. They are gone or who are elder than us. So when I take name Mia Chan Khan and Suraj Khan, they were founder of our Gharana or of our musical school. And they were court musician of Emperor Akbar at the same time of Mia Tan Senji, who happens to be a very famous classical vocalist of that time. So our Gharana started in that century when Akbar was ruling India, Emperor Akbar. So on. Or Gharana was a Dhurpad Gharana basically. Dhurpad is a style of singing which is a very ancient style of singing. In that style of singing, you mostly, you can say, uh, it's a genre where you mostly sing godly things. Like you please God, you sing a very constructive way of singing in that. Like everything is structured beat to beat, and then everything is structured note to note. But there are still the ragas, the scale, but it's a very complex kind of classical music, and everything is even in that style of singing. But then in the later century, Hazrat Amir Khusro, who we call Khusro, also developed a genre called Khayal, which is nowadays very popular as a classical music. You listen today, it's Khayal genre. So Dhurpad was before that. So our Gharana was a Dhurpad Gharana. Then my grandfather and my great grandfather, they evolved to the Khayal Gaiki because people was, they were getting away from Dhurpad. It was getting very, very like old tradition for them, and they wanted something new. So at that time, Khayal was developed as a, you can say, as in millennium, there was pop. So in that time, Khayal was flourishing as a pop style.
Gotcha. Pop.
Yeah, it was getting famous.
Yeah.
Anything famous, like it's popular actually. Pop, it comes from popular. So it was getting a pop culture. So then my great grandfather taught my grandfathers Khayal Gaiki, the singing style of Khayal. Khayal is more liberal type of singing. The scale should be the same, but you have a liberty of improvisation within the limits of the notation. You can do uh, a limit of improvisation according to your mind because it's not written. The theory is written, but how to sing that and how to use that scale and how to use those notes, that's not written. Basically, let me tell you about a rag a little bit. What is a rag? So basically, rag is a scale. It comes from a parent scale. There is one parent scale. For example, there is a scale called Kalyan, and in that, so parent scale would be a root, and then ragas would be branches, and it grows out from that, and there are like thousands of ragas and parent scales. So from Kalyan, there will be a raga coming out, Yaman Kalyan, and then one that raga will have a certain style of notation, which you have to keep it in your mind during rendering that raga. So that flavor of the raga, so people know that this is that raga. Because there are certain ragas which are based on same notations, but how they make it different and how we sound make them bit different, and how we use it. Like there is one note, for example, called madham. So we use that note more that in that raga, in our alap, in our flow. So people know that this raga is going on. So there are a little bit of restrictions and rules on regulation in the theory, and then you have to use those rules, keeping those rules in your mind, and use that raga in your improvisation with the beat also. So khayal is about imagination. It comes from a Arabic word called al khayal. Khayal, imagination. So whatever we are doing in nowadays singing, it's all imagination. We don't write anything, we don't decide anything, we just sing, and what we want to pursue with, we do that in khayal sing. And now I'm coming to my life. I had to tell about my family, which is very important.
Yeah.
So when I started singing, started learning singing from my father, I was a very little then. I think I was 6 years old when I started learning from my father. And honestly, I would talk about that. In our family, we don't allow those people to sing who don't have any affection with music, who don't want to carry that legacy forward.
Yes. Wow.
So, you know, with having surroundings of music around me from a little time, from my childhood actually. Even my maternal grandfather, he's a musician also. My paternal grandfather, who's my father's father, he's also a musician. So even if I was going to my maternal grandfather or grandmother house, there was music too. And even if I was staying at my house, it was
Everywhere.
music. So I had that surrounding, and also I had interest in music. And so for that, even before learning, I was singing. Before even started learning, because I was listening to my father, to my grandfather doing practices around me, singing. So I was singing. So when they see that he have an interest in music, then my father start teaching me. I I have that inside me, but also with that it comes a very big responsibility, because when a musical family which carries a legacy of 500 years, and then you are a 12th generation of that family, there's a lot to carry along. Then you have a burden of the famous people which have gone previously. Like in the past, my grandfather, my father, like he's still there, my grandfather, my great grandfather, and then his father, everybody had made their name. Wow. Practiced, and they were famous. And the kind of music they did, it was very top notch. And to reach that level, and to reaching that level, it's still difficult. We are trying, or whenever we salute one thing, and there is another thing in the raga to practice it and do it again. Like for example, one day I was doing this tan rayas. Tan is basically a pattern of a notation with the alap, the flow of the music. So I was just doing that, and I got it. And I said, "Oh, I got it." And the other day I listened to another pattern. I said, "Oh, I'll have to do it that now."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Continue.
it's like that. So it's like my grandfather used to say, it's like an ocean which doesn't have any shore.
Wow.
One shore, when you
my
have to
dad.
swim only deeper, 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 deeper. That's it. So yeah, it comes with a great responsibility, but we are trying to keep it alive. As in Pakistan, the classical music is now, you can say it's almost gone. So we are the only family in
Wow.
Pakistan, and there are a few others like Patiala Gharana. We are carrying the legacy forward. We are now organizing one of the biggest classical music festival in Pakistan in the memory of my grandfather, and the name is Yadi Salamat. So with that, we're promoting classical music. We are not even singing classical music. We are also promoting it in Pakistan.
Yeah.
We give platforms to the people, to the youngsters who want to sing classical music, because there is no platform for them in Pakistan. So we have created that platform. Every year, twice a year, annually, we do this festival in the name of and memory of our grandfather, Yadi Salamat. And it have become one of the biggest festival of India and even Pakistan, because all the people from India and Pakistan, they participate in that. We're promoting classical music in that. So yeah, uh, the revolution is going. We are doing it and trying our best to make space for classical music and keeping that legacy in mind
Alive,
and
yeah.
that responsibility. So we should keep it alive.
Yeah. It's so interesting because, like, in the West, I feel like sometimes there's a really famous singer, but it doesn't continue in the family. It's not like a tradition that is continued down. So it's amazing. I love it how, because it makes sense, it travels through your lineage.
Yeah, it
So
does.
obviously,
And when you have a
yeah.
rich lineage,
Yeah, exactly.
so you have to,
It's
because
amazing, yeah.
that has been part of our tradition. And as I told you, in our family there are a lot of people who are on different professionalisms
Yeah,
in different fields because they didn't want it to sing,
yeah,
though their fathers were also singers.
yeah.
Like they were singers, but they didn't want it to carry on because they didn't had any interest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I always say that if you don't have the passion,
And then there's nothing. Yeah.
yeah, there's nothing.
Then there's
Exactly.
nothing. I would say that if you don't have passion and you
Yeah.
start doing that thing, that means you are just pushing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So I'm intrigued about the spiritual aspect to it, because obviously the music is what you said to me before. It's all about the divine, right?
yeah, it is. Classical music. It's all about divine.
Mm.
As classical music, when it was invented, it is all created on the natural basis.
Mm.
So, like there is a flow of wind in that when we sing a raga scale. When we are doing a tan, there's a crackling of leaves on that,
Hmm.
and there is a sound of water stream in that,
Yeah.
and then there is sound of cosmic spaces in that when we sing.
Love.
So when we're doing a raga, because scale have always been a great part of meditation, as you know. If we do raga and listen to the raga and do meditation, it really aspect your life.
It really.
It really aspect to your life, impact to your
Impact.
life also, and it leaves a great impact when you do meditation and singing a raga, or you are listening to a raga, because the ragas are also, they are basically cosmic based. I must say that.
I love that.
I would say that because the kind of tones we use in raga, the methods we use in raga, and the kind of vocal tonality we use, it's all about divine. It's calling actually. Like so is come. Basically it's come. So we are calling that divinity in our hearts and in our minds. We're trying to absorb that. So it's all about spiritualism, and the songs and the lyrics which are created in the ragas, it's all about God. It's all about Allah. It's all about Bhagwan. So it's all about compassion and humanity and peace. So from spirituality, it comes to humanity. That's how it travels.
Yes, that is how it travels, right?
Yeah.
So, and since you started training, has that always been your path? Has it always been intertwined, or was there a moment where you felt like, oh, like now I get it? Do you know what I mean? Or
There hasn't been any moment like that, because this is a very difficult genre also.
yeah,
Every day there is a new thing waiting for you to learn.
yeah,
So that moment hasn't came yet, because as I told you, it's like an ocean.
yeah. But maybe that is the moment anyway. The whole
Yeah, there was
experience
a
of it.
moment when I said I got it, that I'll have to learn it until end of my life.
Oh wow! I mean, that makes sense.
So that was the moment.
That was the
Basically for me, because it's a very difficult genre.
yeah.
When you
But
start learning to that,
in terms of the spiritual aspect of it,
and spiritual aspect, yeah, you know, basically whenever I'm rendering a raga and doing practices,
yeah.
I realize that.
Hmm.
If you talk about the spiritual
Yes,
aspect,
exactly.
so whenever I'm doing practice
What and
in
what is
alone,
that you're realizing?
I'm realizing that it is the calling, it is the voice of God.
Oh, I love
It is
that.
a gift of divine.
Yeah,
Like we cannot see it.
yeah.
The sound, we
Yes.
cannot see it.
Yeah.
the goat, we cannot see it.
Yeah.
So it's directly coming from there.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. And whenever I'm doing riyaz and like I'm in a meditative zone, when we are doing riyaz, it's like a meditation. In the morning, we do it. Like we do a calling and we take long breaths with the notations. So we make a full package of breath inside us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a meditation of breath.
Yeah.
Like sa we'll hold that note until we can hold our breath.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we meditate and we close our eyes. And that's when I always realize that there is divinity, that there is spiritualism, because it's all coming from there.
And so did you have that experience from the beginning, like since you started training, learning?
Basically, from the beginning, I had that experience.
You did?
Yeah. Because I'd always immersed myself into my music. I have always been indulgent to that. So keeping that in my mind, I was so interested in that spiritual aspect of music.
It's fascinating because I think obviously in your lineage and because of the music, it's quite a strong.
Yeah, because my father is also a very spiritual person.
Yeah.
So it came through him to me also.
Yes.
So I already had that aspect. I already had that eye. I already had that vision of spiritualism in me. It always has fascinated me. So from very little age, I had interest in that, and I could get the point of spiritualism in music. Yeah,
that's amazing.
it is.
Because well, a lot of people that I talk to, there's a few of them that like always had that. A lot of the time, it's just something would happen, and then they would see an experience more.
As I told you,
Yeah.
I've been in that surroundings all the
All the time, yes.
Because there are some people who learn that,
Yeah. Yes.
who get out of their space and learn. But I was in that space already.
Yeah.
I had to learn. I did learn. But before that, I was in that surroundings,
Yeah.
which impacted my life.
Yes, of course, right.
So that is why I already had it somehow.
Yeah. And so how do you feel like traveling around and walking? Do you sometimes feel like, because a lot of the world is very different and wants to take you away from that, like, do you feel that, and how do you relate to it?
Basically, I love to travel.
Yeah.
First of all, I will say that. And I'm thankful to my music, which has let me travel all around the globe, because it's the beautiful gift given by God to me. And I'm taking that along me all over the world. And this is the reason I'm traveling. This is the reason I'm here. So, first of all, I'm so grateful that I have that gift of God. And I think music is a universal language.
Yeah, it's true.
So, there are few parts of the world where people don't understand our music, but they do understand the nature inside that. Like you don't understand the language of our music, and when I sing to you,
yeah, you feel it.
You feel it. So you should have feel. So I would say the people who even have a little bit of artistic feel, they would understand it.
Yeah.
And if you talk about those people who don't know about music, we don't go to them. That's what we do.
But do you like ever find yourself in conversations with, like, what is your life like? Do you find that you're constantly
So
in
let me
this?
tell you, in Pakistan, basically, it's very difficult to do music because they say music is not in Islam, which is totally wrong.
Oh yeah, they say that, don't they?
Yeah, so where I'm living actually,
Wow.
so they have this taboo. Music is like a taboo there. Yeah.
That's so true. So
But
how
this is
does that
not
work?
wrong. But this is all wrong.
I completely agree, and I've seen it in some other teachings as well.
Because there is a certain community created by the people there.
Yeah.
Who don't want music to become a part of normal life, because music is all about peace.
And it's powerful.
It's all about harmony. It affects people, and whoever listens to music, they are sensitive people.
So
They become peaceful.
yes.
So this is the reason they don't want music to go like this kind of music, like meditative music, to go out into people and
Healing
make them
music.
peaceful, healing music. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the reason they keep saying it. It's haram. It's haram. It's haram, which is not right. There is not even one single verse in Quran, in Holy Quran, which says that music is haram. But if I will say that in Pakistan, they will slaughter my head.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I studied music. One of the courses we did music, Western music, and it goes all the way back. They've been doing this for a long time. There was a quote from Plato, and then it was talking about in ancient Greece where they banned music because they realized how powerful it was,
Yeah.
how it affects people's emotions.
As you know,
Yeah.
the division of the notations was done by Pythagoras.
Really?
The mathematician.
Ah, yeah.
The Pythagoras. He did the division of notations.
Yeah.
Like there are 12
It's
notes in the
ancient.
world.
Yeah.
So it's very ancient.
Ancient. Yeah.
It's if you talk about classical music of our era, it goes back to millions of years.
Yes.
It comes from the Devi Devtas also, from the Hindu
Oh.
goddesses and gods. There are a lot of
Yeah.
ragas created by themselves. If we talk about the mythology of Hinduism,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
in their Ved, in their Purans, the ragas are written.
Well, this is, and you know what I was reading in a book. I think I can't remember which one it was now, but it was saying that some of these oral traditions are completely untouched because the precision of the notes.
You're right. You are right. There are a lot of
Ancient.
ancient things which are not even touched, and people don't know about them.
Yeah.
So this is the reason. So in Islam, they made that perception the community, but it's not in Islam.
Yeah.
If you read Quran, there is not a single verse about that music is haram.
So yeah, how do you feel about that? Because I feel like religion, that's a whole other topic, right?
It is.
And sometimes it controls people in this way.
So this is the reason when you are into the field of compassion, when you are in the field of love, when you are in the field of peace, then you are above that. So our religion is mainly, we are Muslim, we're proud to be that, but all above that, we are humans.
Oof, above that, we are humans.
Yeah.
Love that.
So
Yes.
our only religion should be humanity. That's what our prophet taught us also. Don't love only Muslims, love all the communities, love all the people. People, he used to call him Rahmatul Alameen, that he is a blessing on the universe. He's not only on the Muslims. He's not Rahmatul Muslimin.
Yeah.
He's Rahmatul Alameen. So Alameen, Alam is universe. So whenever we talk about that love, it is coming from our prophet also.
Yeah.
He said, love everybody, love all the community. And everything, the practices you do, he said in one of his verses from Quran, everything you do as a practice of Islam, like namaz, hajj, everything, it will be snatched away from you if you will hurt any other heart. So the most important thing is to make people happy and make the humanity happy. So that's what I believe in.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think some people, when they get into certain religions, they stick so rigidly.
This is the reason they don't know the religions.
Yeah.
They only know that religion what they want to know.
Oh, wow. What they want to know, but then it's also what they've been told.
And also what they've been told.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why they've been told, because they wanted to know that.
Yes.
They didn't want to know that positive side.
Yeah. So, but why, how did you and your family, because I feel like it's all of you, find your way outside of because sometimes it's hard to be able to see that other side, right?
You're right. So let me tell you, as I told you, it's a gift of divine. So when you have that spiritualism in you, you see that things.
Yes, it's so true.
You know that what is right or
Wrong. Yeah.
You know that what will hurt a person or what will not.
Yeah.
So we knew that. And also going to the tradition, we have always talked about compassion. We have always talked about peace. So it comes in a lineage from that era.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and since you were young, you always had that guidance.
we already had that guidance. My father used to tell me. My father has always been a great teacher. He have taught us with love and every aspect of classical music and spiritualism. He told us. Even now, whenever we are sitting around, we talk about that. We talk about Sufi saints. We talk about music and Islam. We talk about love and compassion.
Yeah.
So it's all about music and it's all about divinity. That's what I believe. And we had that guidance.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so interesting because I feel like I totally agree with you. When you have the experience of the divinity that's like within you, then the guidance is there. You just know, and you're following everything in the light.
Yeah.
You know, that's your system.
And that's how Gharana works.
Mm.
Like there is a custodianship in our family. My father is now a custodian of our family, though there are other brothers also. He's like youngest in all his three brothers who are elder than him.
Yeah.
So, but my grandfather chose him as a custodian.
I really.
Why? Because he saw that light in him. Though he was youngest of all his brothers.
Wow, I love that. You know what though? It's so easy sometimes to just fall into this division, and you know, to say something like, "Oh, this person did that," da, 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 you know.
Yeah, but you know, when you do it, and when you practically get your feet into that,
Yeah.
then you know what is happening. So now, as a leader, he have to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
You have to sacrifice a lot of things. You have to do compromise. He cannot sing commercial. Why?
Yeah.
Because he's leading a classical music family. He's leading a lineage which shouldn't be commercial. Because we are a household and we have a duty to serve music.
Yeah.
We have a duty.
I love that.
To separate it to world peacefully.
So just rewind. You said when you get into that, what you get into? You said you know what you get into. When you fall into that, like, oh, you know.
Yeah, for example, as you were telling, sometimes it seems very easy.
Yeah.
To go into music. You said you listen to people.
Oh no, sorry. I meant like what you're talking about. It's interesting because it's all just like on the compassion side of things.
Yeah.
I'm saying sometimes it's easy to go into not the compassion and be like, this person did this, and then hold a grudge.
Yeah,
do
you're talking about that. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it now. Well, yeah, it does happen. It does happen. A lot of people, they do.
Yeah.
But for that, that's what we do. When we are doing or riyaz or practice in the morning,
Yeah.
it's like a pray. And after riyaz, we pray that open that zone for us where we can see your music in more light. Because my father sometimes says, there is a light in the darkness and there is a sound in the silence.
Oof. Yes, there is.
He always says that.
That's amazing.
He said, try to find that. He always says that. Because sometimes he used to ask my grandfather. My grandfather is singing, and at a point he's singing so masterfully that my father used to ask him, when will the time come when I will sing like you?
Oh, wow.
He asked him, he asked my grandfather, Ustad Salamat Ali Khan. He said, when will I sing like that? He said, don't worry. There will be a time when it will be opened automatically.
Wow.
And now it happened. When he sings sometime, when I close my eyes, I think my grandfather is singing.
And when did that happen? Like, how old was he?
I think it was back in 2012
Okay.
when I started hearing him so differently.
Really?
Yeah.
And so what about you? Do you feel like
I'm still finding that phase because because there's a long way to
fine.
that. There's a long way.
I love that. And you know what I love about that as well? This thing I was reading from this Japanese artist, Hokusai. I was watching his documentary, and his whole thing was that through his artistry, he got better, and his greatest
That's
work
what we do.
happened when he was 90 years old.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Right?
It's like alcohol, the classical music.
Yeah.
As all it gets, it gets
matures.
more toxic. So this is the how classical music is.
It gets more healing.
It is more healing. So as old you grow, as your experiences grow old, you have more command on the music. You get more ripen.
And again, it's like this false perception because sometimes they pop culture promoting people who are young, and it's like all these young people, and sometimes people think, oh, when you're old, you're not.
They don't know about that. No,
Yeah.
this is the reason they don't know about the spiritualism. They are only behind commercialism.
True.
They are behind numbers.
Yeah.
They are not behind the sound. They are not behind the music. So you can. It's easy for them. It's convenient for them, basically. So people nowadays choose that which is convenient for them.
And it just pushes that idea that like you can't do it when you get older.
Yeah, they have pushed that idea, but which is totally wrong.
Totally, yeah.
It's totally wrong. When you grow old, that means you are more experienced. That means there is a lot more to tell.
Yeah.
That
And
means
to hear in your
to
voice.
hear. Yeah, it's a lot more to give. That is the reason in the older age people become teachers.
Yeah.
Because they have that experience. Why do people get do discipleships? This is the reason why they do. For the older people, they could have become student of the younger people, but no. Why? Because they have experience.
Yeah.
So that is the experience which is bringing them to be a disciple.
I love that quote, that find the light in the darkness and the sound in the silence.
And the sound in the silence.
Yeah. Because there's always sound, right? There's always sound.
In our Quran, it's written there was a sound when this world was created.
Yeah, well, that's the same in the Bible.
And there will be a sound when this world will be finished.
Ooh. Yet they're banning music.
So the sound was created before the world was.
Yeah.
Before the universe was.
Yeah.
So sound is everything.
Sound is everything.
Yeah. That's my quote.
Yes. Love that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm just like, I feel really glad that you obviously it's in your family, it's in your tradition, but because like you said, you're not allowed in Pakistan. It's like actually not.
Basically, it's not like that we are not fully allowed.
Yeah.
We are allowed, but there is a perception.
There's the frowned upon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a perception of that. But we still do. A lot of people are singing there. Like our city is a cultural hub.
Yeah.
Lahore, where we live, it's one of the ancient zone of cultural hubs in South Asia. So if you search about Lahore, you will find the literature there, you will find poetry, you will find art, you will find music, you will find calligraphy, and a lot of other genres of arts. So because it's filled with culture. So our city is a very good city. We do perform there. We have a lot of music festivals happening there. But our festival has become one of the biggest classical music festival in the recent times. But there is a perception of people and a certain community. But then there is a community who also patronize music.
Yeah.
There are certain communities who also patronize music, and there are like musical cultural societies made by government of Pakistan also to preserve that art. So they are working along. They have created arts councils, which have theaters where they do workshops, where they do like dramas, where they do plays, where they do music, where they do musicals. So music is like arts is happening in Pakistan at the moment, but there is a perception of the other community.
So when do you think that perception came? Like
basically, it was in the 80s.
Is it?
Yeah, it was in the late 80s. That's what my father told me.
Okay.
But there was a time when this certain community called Mullah, they came into the zone and they started spreading Islam. That music is Islam and haram is in Islam.
But it's not just in Pakistan. It's happening in like Islamic culture everywhere, right?
Basically, it's not everywhere. Mostly it's happening in Pakistan because that becomes a part of their business.
But even though here in London, some.
Let me tell you why. That is only for the fanatic people.
What does that mean, fanatic? Oh.
The religious fanatics. I'm talking about that. I'm gonna be very bold here.
Yeah, go on, be bold. I love it.
So that perception, only that person would have who is a religious fanatic, who doesn't believe in peace or harmony. Even in Islam and in Muslim, if you even believe a little bit on the peace or harmony, and then you will love music, because there is a caste called Sayyid, which directly comes from the lineage of Hazrat Muhammad or Prophet, and they don't live without music. They don't believe that if there won't be music, there will be.
Mm.
And they directly come from the lineage of our prophet, who is explorer of Islam, who have taught Islam to the uh, world.
Yeah.
So they directly come from that lineage, and they are so associated with music.
Yeah.
All the people who lives around them are musicians. They cannot live even one day without a musician. They're listening to music every day.
Yeah.
So they are real Muslims, and they are more than they are like more Islam practitioners than any other part of the world.
Yeah, fascinating.
So
Yeah, I'm
who,
just.
who does believe in peace and love?
Yeah.
They will love music
Oof. Oof.
in any part of
The
world,
world.
in
I
any part of
love
the world,
that.
in any religion.
Love that.
I must say that.
I always find it strange when I meet people and they say, "No, I don't listen to music." I'm like,
Why?
"Why?" Literally. It's like, what?
So there is a my father. He's also a very good scholar. He talk about music, and he talks about the to get in norms. So when he's talking, he have made a very beautiful example for that. I have to tell you that. So in Pakistan, it's very difficult to talk boldly, but he does. He speak boldly.
Yes.
So there was a time when media houses banned him because
Talk too boldly.
he talked so boldly about everything, that how the culture was presented.
Honestly.
Yeah, he talked honestly because there is a certain communities who works on favoritism,
Yeah.
who have made a lobbyism,
Yeah.
that they work in a certain community. They want to work with only their friends with. So my
Yeah.
father started talking about that. He said, work on merit.
Yeah, I know. It's the same everywhere, I think that.
Yeah, so he started talking about that, and then they banned him for 10 years. Can you imagine?
Where banned him
On the media houses.
10 years.
Yeah. And
Dang.
he doesn't care about that because social media is always there.
True.
So they cannot ban him from social media. He
That's
talked about
it's a long time.
yeah. And I'm talking about like from 2005 until 2015.
Mm.
So yeah, there is an example he made for those people. He said, when God created stomach, he created food. When he created eyes, he created the beautiful sceneries.
Mm.
When he created nose, he created beautiful smells. So when he created ears, so he created beautiful music.
Mm.
So there should be something for the ears too. He said he created everything for anything in your body part, but there should be something which should be heal your ears too.
Mm.
So that's why he created music.
Love that.
He always said that.
I'm just grateful. I'm glad that it's such a long-standing tradition that you didn't fall into this idea that you're not allowed. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it didn't corrupt into this like, oh no, we're not allowed
And
to
we
do
are
this.
grateful to that.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
Because the kind of tradition we carry is they are not made like in one night.
Yeah, wow.
It's a proper life. There is lives of a lot of people which have been served for that legacy. So why not we? Why don't we do hard work for that? We have to keep that alive. That's what I believe.
I love that. And also just what you said about sound, and I also think that's it. That's where everything comes from. Everything is sound.
Everything.
So part of what you were describing, that wanting to stop that, it's such an agenda to disconnect us.
Yeah, that's an agenda. It's 100% agenda. So if you talk, if you talk about Prophet David, one of his most powerful miracles was music. When he used to sing, the birds used to stop in the air, and the trees, they used to swing when he used to sing. That was the gift of God given by God to him. So this is the reason we can connect to the nature if we go to that kind of music. That's what they don't want us to do.
Exactly.
If we connect to nature, there would be no war. There would be no violation. Everybody will be at peace. So this is the reason they don't want us to connect with that kind of field where people will get peaceful. That's all agenda.
Yeah, and then on the other side, there's the other agenda where the music, the pop music is just nonsense, right? Some of
Yeah.
it is just
That is created
exactly.
an alternative
Yes.
to break that thing
Yeah.
and get
Same.
people to in that norm. If you talk about that,
Yeah.
a lot of people went to that music and changed their societies.
Yeah. Wow.
They changed themselves. You know, sometimes I think about that all of that, those things are conspired,
Yeah.
provided by people,
Yeah.
curated by people.
People. Yeah. Well, it is. That's what's played on the
Yeah.
radio. That's it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the reason they snatch that reality. It's very rare now you listen to the opera in the radio.
I know it's true. So they're saying like the concept is like, oh, music is bad because of a lot of what
Lot of work.
is
The
on
kind of thing.
in the commercial scene. But there's so much more than just that.
Yeah.
And like what you're carrying, the tradition and
Like you can see
Yeah.
the people who were doing gospel singing in the Western music,
yeah.
they're now struggling
Yeah.
because they talk about God.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I got to know there are a lot of record labels who don't want their music
I know.
because they are promoting something else.
Yeah.
And you know what they are promoting. We know as an artist, as a peacemaker, that what they are promoting. We don't talk about that, but we know about that.
No, but it's true.
It is.
It's the whole.
Sometimes I say the world is conspired.
Yes.
It's there were some things when we see them. You know, God have given a great vision to an artist, which he haven't gave to anybody else. Like we see world, a common person would never see because we have that psychedelic eye.
Yes. Imagination.
Imagination.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how we observe
Yeah.
the world, nobody does.
Yeah.
So we know what is happening.
It's so true.
We just don't talk about that sometimes.
Sometimes we
Sometimes
do.
we do.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so true. And I follow this artist, painter,
Mhm.
and he was saying that when you study art in whatever form, it's like you have to break through so much of like the boxes because the whole point of art is imagination, it's creation, it's
It is creation, imagination.
yeah, expression. So because of that, you see the world so differently.
So differently.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm.
Because you are always in the meditative zone.
Yeah.
You're always talking about spirituality.
Mm.
So when you are into that thing
As
so
well.
much,
Yeah.
you know, there is something which comes.
Yes.
Something has to.
Mm. It's what you're touching on as well. Again, I feel like it's so important and it's amazing because yeah, everything is conspiring. You're saying, you know, so there are some things, some agendas that are happening, but the point is, can you see it? Are you falling into them, or are you finding that truth? You know.
Yeah, we do find that truth.
Yes.
We
Yes. Yes.
We do find that truth.
Mm.
Why? But I'm grateful that we are not falling into that
Mm.
because we are holding good traditions so standingly and bravely.
Yeah, bravely.
So we don't fall into that.
Mm.
And we keep praying for that also, that we don't fall into that. Even if all world fall into that, we don't.
Yes.
Because there should be somebody who sticks to the roots.
Yeah.
So we are trying to do that, though we know the truth.
Mm.
And this is the reason we are behind that.
And there's another reason, right?
Yeah.
It's so interesting. It's like,
yeah.
didn't you say to me, we continue the revolution? You said that, right?
Yeah, it's like a revolution. It's like sacrificing and revolution.
When you came in, that's what you said. We continue the revolution. You just dropped it in. I was like,
Yeah. So it's a revolution, basically. It is a revolution. Doing music in that society where they don't want your music to be.
Yes.
Where they don't want you to be. And then you are trying to prove yourself in front of those who don't want you to prove yourselves. Who don't want your music into that scene. So it's a revolution.
Yeah.
It's like getting into that people and fighting for your music. But our fight is musical. We only conquer hearts.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
not countries.
Yeah, no actual fighting involved.
Yeah. Even if we fight in music, we do musical challenges. So it's all about music at the end of the day.
Yeah,
All about sound.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's sound, and it's so fascinating because music. There's so much that is like an analogy of life within the orchestra, the harmony, the difference,
Yes.
but it all comes together as one. And
It's special.
yes, so special.
It is.
So special.
If the world would know about that, there would be no war.
Mm.
If all the world become an artist, then there would be peace. So that's why it's special.
So have you gone down the rabbit hole of why some things are constructed in a way that's really taking us away from this connection and this inner light?
Yeah, you don't even have to go into the rabbit hole for
I
that.
know, right? No, it's true. It's true.
If you see the world right now, everything is on social media, everything is on the media.
Yes.
But even before that, we knew that it was, as I told you before, it is constructed to keep people away from the harmony.
Yes.
So we'll only talk about that which we are talking about already.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
If even I will go to the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So that is all which we already talked about.
And why do you think that is?
Why do I think that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is because of some people, they want to create havoc in the world. They just want world to go on that side where they want to. So that's why they constructed it all. That's why they go on to that. And even if you see, I'm not going to take name of those famous artists who used to sing so beautifully,
Yeah.
who used to sing gospel songs, who used to sing, they used to talk about God. But nowadays when we see them, they are uh, promoting satanic cultures.
Yeah. Yeah. That's yeah.
They are promoting it.
Yeah.
Someone should say that, and I'm saying it because they are promoting it.
Yeah, I know they are.
If you see their concerts,
If you see the concert,
it's all concept on the satanic rituals and stuff
literally.
like that.
But the interesting thing about that is that not everyone sees that.
Not everyone sees that, and that's what I told you. We have got that imaginary
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
So this is the reason that is how they're promoting. That is my point.
Yeah.
Why do you think that it is happening?
And
That's what I think.
I'm going to go even further, but why is that happening?
What? Why?
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that is happening because they want to promote that culture.
Yeah, but have you thought about why they want to promote that culture? Do you know what I mean?
I do have thought about
Yeah,
that.
you have.
I do have a thought. That's what I believe because Satanism, it's all about violence.
Yes.
If you talk about that, if you read about that, it's all about violence. So they want to promote violence basically. Even if you see their concerts, they are like jumping, throwing people here and
Yeah.
there.
It's chaos. It's like this chaos.
Fire is coming. They're creating the chaos. Like there's a incident happened. I'm just forgetting that rapper name.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, so a lot of people
Died.
died.
Yeah.
So some people believe that was a part of any ritual.
Yeah.
People talked about that. They
Yeah.
said it.
Yeah.
So that's why they're doing it.
Yeah, and I feel like ultimately it's like the opposite of what we're trying to do.
Yes,
You know?
it is. We are going towards positivity. They are going towards negativity.
Yeah.
So that's a whole lot different.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're going towards communing with the divine.
And they are going on another path. They're going towards devil.
Yeah. Yeah. But the other thing that's so fascinating is that people don't realize it and they're just doing it and they just,
This is the reason because they have been away from that kind of music,
Mm.
from that kind of life. It's not even about music.
Yes, that's true. It's true.
It's not even about music or sound. It's about the life.
Yeah.
It's about the perspective of the life.
Yeah.
It's about the perception of the lives which they have been away from.
Mm.
So I think in the Western culture, there should be guidance also.
Yeah, I know.
They should people who should be telling them that what is right or wrong. Because nowadays there's nobody to tell, because they don't share a good relation with their family also.
That's so true.
In the past, they used to be very family oriented.
Yeah, and the information and the wisdom travels.
Wisdom travels through the connection of the family
Yeah.
and the connection of the people. And if you will let alone anybody, they will go on their own path. They will not know that what is right or wrong. There should be somebody to guide them.
Yeah.
This is wrong, this is right. So that is how we can resolute that. There should be a guidance. There should be a person who should guide them. What is wrong, what is right.
And like you said also earlier, that when you have that connection, you also like this.
When you have, but that is not normal.
Yeah, not everyone will.
Not everybody
It takes
will get
time.
that. It takes
Sometimes
time. It's very
practice.
rare. It's very rare.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that, you will be a common person all your life. If you don't have that divinity in your spiritualism, though everybody born with that spiritualism,
Yeah.
but there is an awakening.
Yes.
But you don't know that one is that awakening happening.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, true.
But you need a way to go.
Yes.
You need a path to start walking on that.
So true.
But for that, you need a guidance. Or music became more guidance.
And your father.
Or my father and my music and my lineage, that became my guidance. That's why my awakening was a little earlier. Otherwise, I don't know what I've been doing.
So was there a point when you started to see, even with the music that we're talking about now in the West and the commercial, was there a point when you really started to see it all,
Yeah, yeah, that's where I go. When I started to go into the pro level of my practices, then I started to realize that this is an awakening.
Yeah.
Like I'm like the tonal quality I'm using, I don't hear it anywhere else.
Yeah.
That was my awakening.
Love that.
That's different.
Yes.
How does it come? It's so different. And I saw it comes from there.
And how old are you there?
I think you can say it was about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And I was maybe 15, 16.
Okay. No.
Something like that. So I was so indulged into the music, and then I said, this is what all divine is. This is what all divine is all about. Yeah.
Which is?
Which is my music.
Gotcha.
Which is my sound.
Yeah.
Because for me, that is my goat. That is my calling.
Yeah. Totally. Love that.
Everybody has their own perceptions and their own gods.
Yes.
So my god is my music, which he gifted me. So that's what I believe. Yeah.
So how do you see us moving forwards, like as humanity, with everything we've spoken about? What do you see happening, or how you would like it to happen?
If I talk about myself, then there shouldn't be a border for the artist in the world. So we can spread the real music and real art. Why the borders are created, why they have created the boundaries. This is the reason. So they don't allow the people they don't want in. So if I'll talk about myself, even if there is a president or prime minister in any country, they should be artists. Or there should be a ministry of culture who should work on that. Or otherwise, there should be a president or a prime minister. Anybody, they should be an artist. They had an inner artist in them, so they know about peace and compassion.
Wow.
So they know how to spread the peace and love into the world.
Yeah.
I would say that I would like to see world a happy place, a peaceful place for all the people,
Mm.
and for all the people who love people.
Mm.
It should be a one happy place, and there should be positivity only. That's what I believe.
Back to the start of this conversation.
Yeah, there should
I'd
be
love to
positivity.
talk about this. So there's this singer, Jewish singer called Matisyahu, and he has this song, and at the beginning of the song he says, "The king back in today we don't know what true kings are. Back in the day, the kings used to be a poet, they used to be a singer, they used to be an actor.
Yes,
They were true leaders."
yes,
Yeah,
that is true.
yeah.
That's it should be like that. I think it should be like
Mm.
that. So the world will come to
Yeah, wow.
peace. That's
Yeah.
it.
So I love that because that's literally how you started the conversation about the positivity.
And
So
we came back here.
yeah, I know. I wanted to ask you about this because I feel like you had such good guidance in your life and such a clear path. And most people, I think, don't have that.
You're right.
And a lot of people, I feel like, they learn their lessons through pain and they get these like heavy. I just wanted to know what's your experience of that, because I know that there's also a new consciousness coming around that's like, we don't have to learn anymore through these difficult experiences anymore. So I just feel like, what was your experience like? Do you feel like you had painful experiences that you had to overcome in your life?
I'll be honest about that. So I never had that kind of experience in my life because I was so devoted into my music.
Mm,
So, and truly, as you told me, I had a very transparent guidance.
yeah.
So my father had told me what is right and what is wrong for you. So anything personal, I never came across to my music for that.
What do you mean by that?
I didn't put anything personal into my music.
Mm,
When I'm doing my music, I'm just away from all the world. I just don't want that personal life to impose onto my music because my father had guided me that way.
mm,
He told me, "What when you are doing music, just don't think about anything else."
mm,
And when we go into that meditative zone of rayas, of practice, we do indulge into that and we lost into that. We forget about everything. So I never imposed my personal life on my music,
mm,
which I believe helped me to overcome all the difficulties and to stay focused.
mm. I mean, also that it's healing anyway, right?
It is
When
healing.
you're
It is
doing that.
healing. It is healing.
But like, even in the personal life, was there any? Did you have anything that happened that was like really that you had to really overcome? And
Yeah, basically, I've been a strong person all my life.
yes, this is it. It's so interesting, right?
I've been a strong person. There are a lot of things happened which I cannot even remember now because I told you, I always think about positivity.
Yes. Wow. Oh my days. Wow.
And that's how I started.
That's how you started. That's how we started the chat.
Yeah. All I think is positivity.
Now I really want to get into this a little bit more.
And how you want to go to do that?
I mean, it's amazing because I just think that obviously you're from the specific region where, this ancient,
Culture exists.
yeah, and it's still going, it's still traveling through the lineage, right? Which
Yeah.
is so amazing. But I also just feel like this is where a lot of us are going as well,
Mm.
to basically just, I think a lot of people were born into families and like parents who were still teaching themselves how to be an adult, and so had this whole different experience of learning through this like chaotic.
Mm.
And so, but I just feel like now what's happening is we don't have to learn like that anymore. And everyone always asks, but what does it look like? If you can just learn through love, like what does that actually, is it real? Like, can you actually do that? Some people question it,
Yeah, they do.
and I feel like actually maybe you're an example of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, just from,
Maybe.
I love that, maybe.
Maybe for them.
Jokes, yeah.
Yeah. So, as I told you, it comes through positivity,
Yeah.
it comes by positivity, and it will be by positivity again.
Okay, so back to that one. But how do you do it? Because it's sometimes very easy to see what's wrong, what's not working,
You are right.
to complain, you know, to blame someone else.
You are right. It's very easy to blame anybody. But when you do a resolution about yourself, and if you talk, if you read Guru Nanak, Sikhism,
Yeah.
even I have sung Gurbani also, which
Yeah.
is a Sikh religion's compositions.
Okay.
So their religion is based on ragas.
Mhm.
Can you imagine that? 31 ragas. So their book, it's all about music. It's all about compassion.
What did you say? Their religion is based
Their
on
religion
music?
is based on music.
Wow.
31 scales. And in all, the verses are written in the scales.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
31 ragas for all the verses,
That's
which created by Guru Nanak.
Hmm.
So he said, Manish ki zaat eko pehchan lo. Humanity is one.
Hmm.
You just need to find that.
Oof.
That's his quote. So when I started reading him, I found a resolution. I said that we are one. We don't have to believe each other for what we do and what they do.
Yeah.
We have to keep ourselves positive. We have to keep our inner positive so we see the world positively.
Yeah.
So that thing really impacted me. And when I read Hazrat Ali, which is a great personality for Islam, I read a lot of his quotes about humanity and how to love humanity and how to gather yourself inside yourself.
Yes.
When I wrote that, that impacted me. And I created myself a strong person from inside. So I can only feel positivity.
Mm.
And also, I have always been surrounded with positivity.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It sounds like
I've always been surrounded with the love. I've been always surrounded by that culture of love.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's how I did it.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. I feel like even the music, like you're just describing the verses,
They are all
they're
love.
all yeah,
They are all love.
they're all love. And then that's just making me feel like we all need to come and sing more of this stuff,
That's what we need to do.
you know,
Yeah.
to remind ourselves.
That's what we need to do. And we're trying that.
Yeah.
I'm trying that.
Yeah.
Doing that. Trying to do that.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because, you know, sometimes when you sing like those simple phrases and it can seem a bit cheesy. Sometimes you're like, "Ugh," but actually it's like fall into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
You know?
It is.
So you worked on your own cultivation, your inner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that you do, I mean, I feel like the music is obviously such a big part, but is there anything else that helps you to maintain this positive outlook, you know?
Yeah, it does. Because, I have a very generous personality. So once I read, you give one and you take two from God. So that also become a part of my life. I do a lot of charity in my limitations, how much I can do. And that thing lead me to that positivity also because I get a lot of prayers. I get a lot of blessings of people.
You receive it in your life.
You receive, yeah. And that's become my way
Love that.
of receiving love and blessings also. So yeah, other than music, that is the thing what I do.
Okay, great. So if someone has done something to you that's like sneaky behavior, or you can see that they're trying to like, what's the word?
Manipulate.
Yeah. How do you like go through and deal with that kind of thing? And
I just avoid those people. I don't go to those people.
what if they come to you or they don't? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they don't come to me. Why? Because I have that, I have that eye. I can judge people at in one meeting. I know that what is wrong and what is not wrong. So I won't let that people come around me. Because my positivity have that barriers around me
Yeah, yeah.
which
it's
won't
true.
let that negativity come inside.
Yeah. So even if you're like having a gig or something,
I don't work with those people
mm.
who doesn't understand my music.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah. So even if somebody asks me and book me, I said, "Do you know my music? If you don't know, so please don't waste your time. So if you understand it, then I'm happy to come and sing for you."
Interesting.
Yes.
So, and have you had any instances? There must, just in general, where someone is like doing this shady behavior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of time. Like it happens a lot of the time.
Okay. And
But I
then
just avoid them.
you
Just listening to them and get out from that here.
okay. So you don't get entangled
I don't get
in the
entangled.
whole.
I don't get entangled.
You just like, okay.
Okay, I'm listening to you. Thank you very much. And after that, when I went, I don't know who was he or who was she.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just don't
You don't
let
hold
that
on.
impact to myself.
Yeah. And you just forget and you don't ruminate over it.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I just don't want to focus on that. On the way I am,
Yeah.
it's already like more than golds glitters for me.
Oof. What do you mean by that?
Because most of the people, they are behind the shining. They are after the shining. But there is a saying that everything which looks gold is
Yeah.
not glitter is not a gold.
All that glitters is not gold.
all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
all the glitter is not gold.
Yeah.
So they go towards that side, but I've
Ah.
already found my path. I've already seen glitter somewhere else, in my divinity, in my music, in my spiritualism. So if you will talk about commercialism to me, then it wouldn't be impacted to me. It won't have any impact to me, because I don't want that. What I wanted, and what I am looking for, I'm on that path.
Yeah, I love that. What I'm wanting, I already have.
Yeah, I already have that path. On that way I am. So I don't want any disturbance. I don't want any commercialism. I'm happy, because at the end of the day, I'm eating one bread and one dal, which will fulfill my desire of eating also. And that's money is also a part of a life,
Yes.
but it shouldn't be above anything else.
Yeah, 100%.
It should be that much which can feed you, which can let you travel all the world as a part of our musical journey. That's what I believe. And that's how I keep myself away from that kind of people.
And another question, because I think that this is a one that I feel like people struggle with a lot, especially with what's happening in the world. Well, that's always been happening in the world, but again, it's easy to see like the crazy atrocities that are happening and then feel it, and obviously the point is you don't want to just completely ignore it. And like you saying, you're aware of what's happening in pop music, and you can see the the devil's play
Essence in that.
Yeah. So how are you still maintaining that positivity while also knowing what's going on? Because the way you spoke about it now was also just like, I see
Yeah.
it, you know?
I already talked about that with you. How I maintain it. I only talk about God. I only talk about spiritualism. Even if I talked about devilism, I talked very small,
Yeah, yeah.
very little about that. But when I'm talking about divinity, I'm talking like way too much.
I
Isn't it?
love that.
So
I'm
that's
talking,
why
wait.
I have that.
I love
I
that.
have that more essence. This is the reason.
It's true, because sometimes, again,
That's why I keep
yeah.
keep myself away, because I'm always thinking about something positive.
And the thing is, you can get, again, wrapped up in like, oh my God, this is wrong. It's the same thing.
Yeah, a lot of people come and go. A lot of people come and go, but you have to stick to your regulations,
So true.
what you believe in.
And also, the point is, you're creating your reality, right? So
We are creators of our music also.
yeah,
So we should create which is convenient for us, and which can be a part of another life with positivity.
yeah.
We should give them that. And we're trying to do that with our music. It's all about peace. It's all about love. We don't talk much. We do music, and we try to give impact of our music to the other people's life in a positive way. That's all.
What do you say to people who say, "Oh yeah, but you have to do something about what's happening in the world"? Well, you are.
I say them I'm okay while I'm doing
Yeah.
what I'm doing. They said me, why don't you? Some of the people
They do say to you.
they do say to me, why don't you become a little commercial? And then I tell them I'm trying to be more difficult in my craft, and you're saying me to become commercial. I want it to be more complex, so I can get that what I want.
Yeah.
And I'm working on that. I'm working hard on that. So there are a lot of people come and go, but I'm very very strict to my regulations. Yeah.
And I guess you're already giving a lot as well, like you said.
Yes. Yeah. As that is the part which keep me going mostly, because
Really.
because I love taking care of people. I love to be I have that generosity from my father. He's like that. So I've got it from him. So
It's
I've always
amazing.
been that.
I love it. The thing is, it's like good values. You
Good values.
inherited good values.
Yeah, that is what that should be the right word.
Yeah,
Good
and
values.
many people didn't have that guidance, and it's like you said, that's what we need. We need guidance,
We need guidance.
and it's just amazing to hear you speak about this in this way, because I feel like it's quite rare
It is.
here, especially in the West.
It is. So that is the only thing they want. They need guidance, and there is no better guider. There's no better guide than your parents who have brought you to the world.
Yeah.
So they know. They should tell you that this is the way and this is the way. Then you are decide to. Then you have to decide what to choose.
Yeah, definitely.
But there should be guidance.
But the difference is your guidance came with a deep, like profound spirituality, and a lot of the West or other parents don't necessarily have that, right? So
Yeah, you are right. You are right that. So we cannot, blame
yeah, of
them
course,
for
of
that
course.
also.
Yeah. So if I asked you, what do you think your purpose is? I know you've kind of said it, but I'd love to just hear it in like a.
What my purpose is, only mine, or are you talking about the family
Maybe
tradition?
yours, and then maybe you can talk about the family after.
Yes, our purpose is to keep this music alive and get this music into those people who want that, who are looking for that. People like you who are looking for that kind of music. We didn't know each other like 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
but now we knew, and music have become a part of that. The connectivity is through music.
Yeah.
So my purpose is to create positivity through music and to reach my music to that level where everybody can listen to it and everybody can get healed and everybody can get peace with that. That's my purpose.
Amazing. Yes.
And I'm glad that my purpose, my way, it's very clear.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not struck anyway, and I hope that it stays like that forever. That's all.
I love it. And have you known that for a long time now? Like, when did you realize what you just said?
Yeah, that I realized a couple of years ago.
Really?
Couple of years ago.
Really?
Yeah, couple of years ago, because when I started doing fusions with different musics, so I thought I should bring it to the masses because it belongs there also, because there was a certain community, classical music community, where people listen classical music, but I said I have to break that norm. I'll have to do fusion with other kind of genres and get it to the world. And that's what I did 2 years ago. I recorded a song called Morena, with which I played you also.
Yeah.
So that one is a fusion with classical music and jazz,
Yes.
and people well received it.
Yeah.
They loved it. So that's what I'm doing. And then I thought I have to give it like that. That's my way of giving.
So a couple of years ago, you realized through that
Yeah,
that that was your
that I have to
purpose.
bring my music to masses.
Ah, okay, fine.
And when I bring it to masses, there will be a larger community. There will be a lot of other people, like common people, they will be know about classical music. Because somehow, sometimes the person who is listening to jazz, for example, he wouldn't listen to other music.
Yeah, totally.
Or sometimes who's listening to classical, they wouldn't listen to jazz. So what I did a fusion of that and represented it to the world, and I waited that how will it be received, and it received so well.
Love it. And what about the part about bring the peace and the harmony? Did you always know that through what you were doing from a young age? Or?
Yeah, that I know from the young age, because we've been guided about that what we are doing, it's for all peace, compassion, and humanity.
Wow.
Because our elders have been doing that. So that I knew. That was a part of my teaching. Yeah.
Amazing. It's so cool that you were shown all this stuff from such a young age. I love it. It's so cool.
And that is the age when you can learn,
Yes.
When you can learn, actually.
It's amazing. I just feel like it's so different to like the upbringing that a lot of us had.
It is. But I want you to invite to Pakistan. You should come to Pakistan.
I know when you were talking about Lahore, I was like, wow,
You
this
should.
magical
Lahore
place.
is a magical place, and I'm sure you will love it. I think you will love it.
Yeah.
Just love it.
Yeah.
That is the kind of place you have to be. Yeah. You have to come once in your life.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
There is a saying of Lahore. In Punjabi, we call it, Jinne Lahore nahi vekhya, oh jameya hi nahi. That who haven't seen Lahore, he or she isn't born even yet.
Wow.
There is a saying for Lahore.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Anyhow, it was a great experience speaking to you, and you really opened a few of those realms which I didn't talked about in my previous life. So it was a really different one for me.
Yes, amazing. Love that.
Yeah.
So I ask this question to everyone. What does freedom mean to you?
My freedom. Freedom means everything to me. It means everything. I believe in liberalism. I believe in freedom. You have to be free. And the kind of genre I'm carrying also, let me come again, let me come there again. It's all about freedom. Khayal is all about liberation. It's all about improvisation, which comes to a free mind. So freedom means everything to me. It's a part of my practice. It's a part of my music.
Yeah.
I'm a free bird.
Yeah, and I guess even in that way, you're able to see where you're being restricted. Like, for example, what you said about the.
You're right.
Yeah.
This is the thing which keeps us going. Freedom is the thing which keeps us going. Freedom is the thing which keeps us away from all the barriers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freedom is the thing which keeps us away from all the boundaries.
Yeah. And agendas.
And freedom is music, and music is universal. And universe is free.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Love that. I feel like freedom is such a big. It's a lifetime journey, you know.
Even not even artists. Freedom belongs to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody who is free, they are happy. But I hope they stay free with positivity.
Wow, what an amazing way to finish.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
I'm thankful to you for bringing me here and let me talk about all of it. And it really has been a great experience. It was truly a spiritual journey we've been talking about. And I hope this podcast could impact a few other people's life with positivity, love, and compassion.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So would you like to share a little bit of your singing voice?
Yeah. So in the end,
yeah,
I will sing a little part of a Thumri, which is a semi-classical for the viewers and the audience, for all of you, actually. So this tumor is composed in Rag Sindhi Bhairavi, which is minor scale. More naina, more naina, naina, more naina, लगेगी बरसात सजन मुझे छोड़ ना जाना मोरे नैना मोरे नैना नैना मोरे नैना मोरे नैना मोरे मोरे नैना लगेगी बरसात सजन मोहि छोड़ न जाना नैना आ आ नैना मोरे नैना लगेगी बरसात मोरे नैना 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 नैना. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode and to this podcast. We hope that you can gain many insights through the art of listening. If you haven't already, we would love it if you can follow us on YouTube, on Instagram, and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if that feels right for you. We've also just launched our first online course, Awakening 101. A Ninja's Guide to Navigating Your Spiritual Awakening, which is led by me and is offered via donation. So if you feel called to that, then please dive in. It's available via our website. Thank you.